The following video is not a tutorial for how to create a proper mod load order for Skyrim modding on PS4. It is simply my load order, the way that I want to have it placed. Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a streaming freedom video bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. I often get asked to share my load order for Skyrim modding on PS4, and while I don't create these type of videos very often, it's been a while since the last one, so I figured I'd go ahead and share my current load order. This would be the version 4 load order for patch 1.30. Now while you can just skip to this timestamp to get right to the load order if you would like, there will be no talking during that section of the video, and I do have some things to cover, so I hope that you will stick around. First of all, you need to know that if you're looking for a way to create a proper load order as suggested by mod authors, this is not the video for you. That's because my load order is not in the suggested load order, but the order that I want to have it placed. Anytime I've tried to use templates, I find that the game just runs worse than when I simply do it myself. That being said, if you'd rather have a template for a proper load order, I will leave a link in the description box with a video that I did several years ago that is all the credit of my friend Omegafraz Gaming, who shared with me a proper load order tutorial to be able to make a video for. But please don't ask me to expand on that, as again, I don't use them myself. Now, as far as my personal load order, in my testing of it, for the 5 or so years that I've had this character, this is my original character on his original saves, the only character I've ever had, I've tested the mods in the load order. If they have a thumbs up by them, then at least in my experience, I've found that they were safe to uninstall and in some cases delete completely if need be out of the load order. Now, if a mod does not have a thumbs up in the load order, that means that I found in my testing that it cannot be uninstalled in the continuing save. Attempting to do so will cause the save to be corrupted. A perfect example of this is Wonders of Weather PS4. Those of you that have been with my channel long enough know that that is a mod that completely corrupted all of my saves, and that my saves are now dependent on in order to be able to use this character. The mod works perfectly fine in game, it's just that once it is active in a save file, it has to remain so to be able to use the saves. Now there's also some changes to the College of Winterhold with Obscurus College of Winterhold, and most of the mods that I have changing the college I found were safe to uninstall, but there are a couple that are not thumbs up that I found could not be uninstalled in an ongoing save. Attempting to do so would result in two different outcomes of either having no interior cell in the college or an altered interior cell where the Archmage quarters and the Arcanium are not accessible, that there's just simply a brick wall there instead of an entrance. Now, the mods that are in my load order, several of them are placed that way for a very specific reason. If they're out of sequence, they either do not function correctly or can break. Example of this is my custom built lighting rig that gives me the overall look in my game. If they're not in the order that I have them placed, then it does not achieve the look that you're currently seeing here. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I do have an in-depth look at the custom lighting rig that I have built step by step, switching them on, showing the changes big and small. I'll leave that linked in the video description as well, but please know the video is quite long. Now, as far as other mods that are conflicting, I do have some to keep in mind. One is that I have two body mods installed, and normally you would not do that. I have a UMP body and a CBBE body. Only one or the other will work. Even if you have them both installed, the mod that is lower in the load order will win out. The reason that I do is for testing purposes. I get tired of having to constantly re-download and then place it back, so I have them in there, but only one is active. So just keep in mind that you would have one or the other, but not both. There's also a mod that I have in there that has to be placed. It is supposed to fix, but only in a new game, not an ongoing one, the animations that are set wrong for certain characters, like Lydia, for example, having the wrong gender animation, and it's supposed to fix them, but it will only work if the character has not been spawned in the game world. Once they are spawned in the world with the animation, whatever it is, that is baked into the save file. I have it because on the off chance I would have lost my character when the 200 mods were deleted, I had placed it there. And it has to be the last thing touching, so to speak, the actor record. So even placed after, like, character replacers for it to function. However, if it's on and you have a replacer for Lydia on at the same time, it causes her to revert back to her vanilla self and have the gray face bug. So keep that in mind. In that case, you would have it on, spawn the character into the world where the mod would fix the animations, save, then disable it, and then the replacer could be used. And so with all of that said, this is my personal load order version 4 for Skyrim Special Edition patch 1.30 on PS4 Slim. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin via the Eyes Only Informant Net. Peace out.